Burned home, broken communities, and thousands displaced. Manipur's ethnic crisis has left a scar that may take a long time to heal. So, in this situation, when Prime Minister Modi finally visited the state of Manipur since the violence broke out in the year 2023, the Kuki-Zo community and the representative of it have put a very strong or bold demand against him. And the demand is to have a separate union territory under Article 239A of the Indian Constitution. Now, why Kuki-Zo community is demanding the status of union territory? What does it mean for the state of Manipur and the entire region of Northeast itself? And how does the future of Manipur look moving forward? Let us try to understand and deep dive into this particular topic. So first of all, to give the context of this entire issue, we know that somewhere in the month of May 2023, we have seen ethnic clashes breaking out between two major groups of the state of Manipur. The valley hill areas, which is largely valley of the hill area, that is valley of the Manipur, that is largely inhabited by Methi community, and then you have the hill area that is inhabited by two tribal groups, that is the Kuki-Zo community and the Naga community. So the large scale violence we have seen is erupting between the Kuki-Zo community and the Methi community as such. The scale of violence becomes so huge that we have reported or seen a report of killings of hundreds of different people from different communities, burning of homes and the churches, as well as mass displacement of people from Manipur into the neighboring states as well. Also, this has led to what you can call as the physical separation of the communities that were residing in the state of Manipur itself. Now, in this context, if we try to understand basically that the Prime Minister Modi's visit has come at this particular opportune moment. So, it is first of all we have to understand it is historic movement, or we can say historic visit, because it is the first visit of Prime Minister since the outbreak of conflict. Not only that, he has visited the Chura Chandpur region, which is the Kuki-Zo dominated area, and that is why the members of Kuki community themselves are representing it as a historic visit, and not only because it is a visit after the breakout of the violence, but also in the last 40 years, it is for the first time Prime Minister of India has visited the northeastern state of Manipur as such, and this visit has created a renewed sense of hope, especially among the hill people that is inhabited by the Kuki-Zo community itself. Also, during his visit, Prime Minister has appealed the communities to ensure peace in the state, and he has stated that only through maintaining peace the progress is possible in the northeastern state. However, at the same time, the representative of Kuki-Zo Council, which represents the interest of Kuki-Zo community, has clearly stated that just talking about peace is not enough. Peace, the talk about peace, the discussion about peace should be backed by strong actions, and without any kind of substance, the term or mention of word peace itself will be meaningless as such. And also, Kuki-Zo community believes that true peace in this case of Manipur requires a political solution, not just words. Now, also we have seen that after Prime Minister Modi exited the state, he went back to Delhi. We have seen increased incidences of arson. However, in this context, the representative of Kuki-Zo Council has stated that this is because of the rebellious youth. Violence has not been caused by the Kuki-Zo members and the group and the members of the group as such. Rather, the rebellious youth who are influenced by the Gen Z agitation, we also have discussed about that in Nepal. We have seen taking place recently. So, this might have influenced them. The Gen Z generation of Manipur also seems to misinform, and it does not represent any kind of community leadership as such. Now, also the other aspect of discussion with the Kuki-Zo Council was that to what extent development has trickled down in the Kuki-Zo area. In this context, they have stated that Government of India has announced about 8,500 crore worth of project for the state of Manipur. This was announced by the Prime Minister himself. However, out of this humongous amount, only 23 crores were allocated to the Kuki-Zo district of Chura Chandpur. On the other hand, the other two major Kuki-Zo district, that is Kangpokpi and Faizabad, they have not received any allocation as such. So, we can say that they blame that this is a clear case of marginalization which we are seeing in the recent times, and we have also, or they have seen or witnessed in the historical past as well. Now, before moving forward, I would want to bring your attention to the fact that in Legacy IAS Academy, we are going to soon commence our batches. The regular batch for the weekday students are going to commence on 22nd of September and 16th of October. And those who are preparing for this examination with full-time job or full-time what you can call as studies in education, 4th and 25th October is when we are going to launch our weekend batches. We have a lot of features to that program where we ensure comprehensive coverage of all GS paper, we ensure mentorship and doubt solving sessions, and also we have a strict policy of 40 students per batch, so that the interaction with educators and between educators and aspirant can be ensured to a maximum extent. We also believe that preparation should be integrated manner, and that is why right from the start we focus on daily mains and writing practice, test series for prelims and mains. If you want to know more detail about the course feature programs, you can click the link in the description box. You can give the call at the number being displayed here, and also you can download our legacy app, which will be anyway helpful to you if you are preparing for the civil services. Now coming back to the topic, Prime Minister Modi during his visit also has emphasized that the strengthening of local governance will play a key role and very important part in ensuring peace and progress in the nation. But at the same time, Kuki-Zo also have countered this by showing their this what you can call as discontentment with the local bodies. Earlier also have autonomous district council, earlier also they have hill areas committee, but what they have stated that all these local bodies were largely dominated by the majority group. Again, they are indirectly referring to the Methi group. It was the Methis who used to control elections, and Kuki-Zo were not able to even contest elections and elect their representative as such, and that is why they believe that local governance itself is toothless as far as the furthering the interest of Kuki-Zo Council is concerned. Thus, a strengthening of local governance body is not going to create a lasting peace in the state as such. So, what they have stated is that if you look at the state of Manipur, Kuki-Zo clearly state that they have been driven out from the Methi areas, largely from the Imphal Valley areas. Also, Methis have largely labeled them as outsider. They have been allegedly called as poppy cultivators, and also they have been allegedly called by Methi group as someone or a community which harbors illegal immigrants as such. And that is why they states that it is not the demand for separation that we are bringing by ourselves, but demand for separation that is being raised by Kuki-Zo community today is basically being imposed on them by the action of other group, that is the Methis group. And that is why they say the only solution that we have, because obviously they are stating that local councils or local governance has failed to do anything in the interest of Kuki-Zo community. They have stated that the Methi community has failed to accept them as member of the state as such, or the what you can call as resident and citizen of the state as such, and that is why the only hope that they have through which they can further their interest and live peacefully is by having a union territory with legislature. That is what is mentioned in Article 39A of the Constitution, where Parliament has been empowered to create union territory with legislature and the Council of Ministers as well. And that is why they have stated that we are not seeking independence, rather we are seeking self-governance within India under Article 239A of the Constitution. Now also they have said the recent political development also create a good environment in which further political discussions and deliberations can take place. For example, in the early days of the September 4th of September 2025, we have seen the agreement being signed between the Kuki-Zo community, its militant group, that is called as SO, that is Suspension of Operations Agreement, where the Kuki-Zo militants have said that they will not use arms and violence to further the demand, and that is why they have committed to pursue time-bound political settlement under constitution in a non-violent manner. And this also the representatives has said is a milestone for the dialogue between different parties as such. Now, if you try to understand that what can be the future as far as the state of Manipur is concerned, so obviously Kuki-Zo is demanding that the unprecedented injustice they have faced in the state by the hands of Methi groups, it should be recognized. And because nowhere in the history of India they have alleged that the citizens of the state has been driven out of their own state, the case of Kuki-Zo is a very interesting and very unique case, and that is why the government of India should ensure just and lasting settlement rather than just talking about peace as such. And this is only possible if the rights and dignity of Kuki-Zo community is protected, and they also have clearly reiterated the point that not want to secede from India, they not want to become a separate nation or something like that. Rather, they want a peaceful coexistence within the Indian Union, and the only way the thing that through which it may be possible is by having their own union territory under Article 239A of the Constitution. That is all about this particular video. We have to wait and watch that how Government of India and the representatives of Kuki-Zo and Methi community further discuss and deliberate on these topics. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for more such content. Thank you very much.